Okay, Keir, so not the result we wanted, a narrow defeat at home against Westbury United. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, disappointed, obviously, when you lose local derbies or any game of football. You know, it's never a nice feeling, but we've been on a really good run up until today. I think the last time we lost was against Bradford over a month ago, so it's important now, after the disappointment of today, that we pick ourselves back up and get on another run. Not our best performance. Really even game. Draw would probably been fair, I would have said, but the goal that Ryan Bowles scored for Westbury today was good enough to win any game of football. The free kick that he took, Brownie had absolutely no chance. You know, he could have had two keepers in there, and if that's the deciding factor to win a game of football, then sometimes you have to hold your hands up, lick your wounds, dust yourself down, and prepare for another game of football another day. So it wasn't to be for us today. But attitude, commitment, work rate, I think everyone could see over another good crowd that was there in abundance, and just lacked that little bit of magic, that little bit of spark, that little bit of quality. So yeah, won't be too down for too long. I'm disappointed. I'm hurting a little bit now, and so are the boys, because you don't want to lose local derbies against people that you know. But in terms of the performance and in the attitude that the boys produced today, that I can't be too upset for too long.
After conceding the goal, it seemed like we were under a lot of pressure from Westbury throughout large spells of that second half. Are you concentrating on the positives, at least happy that, unlike the Bradford game, we didn't concede any more goals?
Yeah, well, I don't think Brownie had many saves to make. You know, I don't think there was any chances really for either side. Couple of catches, punch crosses for both sides. I would probably say that I'm most disappointed of not scoring when we were in top in the first half. There was a 20-minute period in that first half where it was one-way traffic for us, and I think if we could have created an opportunity, or one of those half chances goes in, we probably deserved to go in the break leading. Maybe if I'm being harsh. Or maybe I'm expecting a bit too much. But on my opinion on that first half, I thought we were the better side. And you're always gonna struggle a little bit when you come back out for another half of football and you haven't capitalised when you've been on top. And then they had their periods in the second half where, like you said, they were on top, and when they scored, they had their tails up, which happens when you score. But across the 90 minutes, a draw would have been fair. Okay, but sometimes life isn't fair, football's not fair, and you don't get what you think you deserve. And sometimes, like I said, you just have to accept the fate of today. And the goal that won the game from Bowley, unbelievable strike. And yeah, you just sometimes got to take your hat off to that.
3 defeats for us in the league so far this season. We're coming up to the halfway point. Are you delighted, per se, that we have only lost 3 games so far?
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, we've been brilliant for the first half of the season. I think exactly where we are right now is the level of football team that we are. Like, what are we, top 6? I haven't checked after today, but to be top 6, newly promoted. I think we're still ahead of Westbury and Bradford, who are the other local rivals. Obviously, Carlton, who have been struggling a bit this season. So at present, we've been one of the best Wiltshire sides. So I don't think that we can be too down about life at this level for us. But I always want more. I'm ambitious. So's the chairman. So's the players. We want to win every week, and that will hurt the boys. But there's an opportunity to put things right, and we will do everything we can to do that. We'll be in training. We'll get prepared properly for the next game. We'll dust ourselves down. We'll have to go again, and you know, when we come to Christmas time, if we're in that top 10, then it's been a really good start to the season. But it's important now that we bounce back. You know, after we've had those disappointments like Briscombe and Thrupp, when we lost, we bounced back with a really good run. And then when we lost to Bradford 3-0, we had a really good reaction and went on another superb run for over a month and picked up some really important points in results. So as long as we do the same after today and go on another good run and not let things fester too much, then yeah, no issues from me. Bit disappointed with the quality on show today, but definitely not with the work rate, ethic, and the commitment from the boys. So yeah, disappointed, but not too upset on the on the grand scheme of things. It's a long old season, and we've got lots of work to do, and we'll keep plugging away as we always do.
Following on from your comments about your ambitions and Joe, the chairman's ambitions, can you pinpoint at this halfway point, what we're lacking compared to the Bradford, the Brimscombe, and the Westbury tonight?
Probably resources, if anything. I think that you have a look at our squad in comparison to some of the others. I think that we lacked probably another striker at the minute. Obviously, we brought Bathy in, but he's now out for a month or two. We probably could do with another wide man or winger with real pace and real quality. We're a very robust side. We turn up every single week and everyone gives 100%, and that's standards in good stead most weeks. And sometimes when you need that little sparkle, that little bit of quality, we don't really have that. We're very reliant on Matty for that, and if sometimes he doesn't turn up in a big game, or Higgs is misfiring for an afternoon, then we struggle. We don't really create too many other opportunities from other areas. So it's something we need to look at. Other boys need to chip in with some goals. That is probably the difference from like the top boys. They've got probably 4 or 5 of those magic players that can produce something, and we've probably only got 1 or 2 at the moment. So if we can add something like that in the near future and can build on to next season and progress on, then brilliant. If not, I'm very happy with what we've got here as a squad. Really good personnel, really good characters in the changing rooms. So we'll probably be in around that 6 to 10 mark for the remainder of the season, and would just be a little bit shy of those top 4 or 5 that have got that real quality.
And a week off next week, but we return at home against Wootton Bassett. Another tough game, but also leading into a very tough fixture schedule for us in December. What are your thoughts going into a tough December?
Yeah, so we've got obviously, I think the Lydney game's been rearranged now for midweek, the one that was cancelled due to COVID last week. So that will probably come in there, sandwiched between the Wootton Bassett game. It's just 2 tough games coming up, and we need to pick up points. We had a really good point the way ahead of Hereford last week, side that I'm sure are just going to keep getting better and better. So I was really happy with that point last week. Lost today, and we have to make sure that we prepare and get ready for Lydney and Wootton Bassett, and just have to take another game as it comes. There's no point worrying about one result. Okay, one game's not going to define us this season. And I said afterwards that the boys can hurt. It's fun, no problem. But make sure you're prepared and ready for that next game. And if we bring the same attitude, commitment that we've shown all season, then we'll be back on the straight and narrow in no time.